Welcome to the KDFL Fantasy Football Podcast. It's me, Brett Steele, and I am joined, as always, by Mr. Jonathan Detroit Haynes. How's it going, man?
Yo, that's 3-0, Jonathan Detroit Haynes.
Also joining us, as always, Mr. Phil Ruxy. Phil, how you doing?
What's up, guys? That's also 3-0 Phil Ruxy.
Hey, somebody got to win this week, though. It's all getting a
win. Somebody get a win. We will get to that and how disrespectful you two were to me and our predictions. But starting off, week 3 in the books in the NFL. Start off with a Thursday night game between the Jags and the Dolphins. Not a lot going on. Fitzmagic again.
Yeah, it's just that game was garbage. What else can you say?
Yeah, a couple of things from that game. Gaskin might be the real thing in Miami. He might be what they're going with. And I don't know what's happened to Jordan Howard. That's I don't know. To be in the Bears starting running back and, highly regarded to now.
I don't think he was ever that good, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I guess not. Now, question about this game, and then we'll move right along. This game, pretty terrible. Dolphins-Jags. It's a pretty awful game. Is there an NFL matchup that you would not watch, though? Or what is your least – if you could think off the top of your head the two teams playing that you would care the least about? Not because you hate them. You just don't care about them at all.
Well, that would be pretty close. I mean, I don't know, Jets and –
I'm thinking like this upcoming Thursday, Jets-Broncos.
Yeah, that could be it.
I was thinking like Jets-Giants, like a New York game.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
Jets-Giants.
Especially with no Saquon.
Yeah, there's really nothing to see.
No Saquon, that's a big deal with that. That's a pretty good one. If we're talking about them in their current state, yeah, Jets-Giants. Washington and Jets probably. That's another one. I don't know. Just something interesting to think about.
Lions Falcons.
Hey, that's coming up in a couple of weeks, I believe.
It is coming up. The gradient red jerseys, baby,
Woo.
making their debut.
These things are horrible.
Bears Falcons.
Yeah, what happened, man?
What do you mean? It happened again.
I don't know what happened. Could you recap it for us?
How are the Bears 3-0 and the Falcons are 0-3? It makes no sense.
The Bears got to be like the worst 3-0 team in the history of football.
The Bears,
by far. At least in the last 10 years or so.
Foles takes over and was not playing well, by the way. I mean, Foles probably will have his moments as the Bears starter. He wasn't playing great. We, of course, did what we do. I don't know how to shake this. This is a curse.
I didn't watch a lot of it because there was so much going on at those 1 o'clock games. I just knew it was 26-10 in the fourth quarter or something. And just
26-10, yeah, and they didn't even do it the 8 points. They did the 7-10, yeah. Right.
Well, it doesn't matter. They just blew it.
7.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. So terrible, man. I mean, I don't know what you. If we lose in Green Bay, which we probably, most assuredly will, he might be done, but he's definitely going to be done if we lose with Carolina coming to town the week after. So we'll see. Terrible. The Bears, of course, the Bills, at the same time, rub it in our faces, giving up a 23-3 lead, and then winning still on a horrible PI call.
But you know what?
That's terrible.
If any team deserved getting a penalty called like that, go against them. It's the Rams.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
I can't take credit for it. I saw it on Twitter. So
that has to be the worst pass interference call of all time, though, in that game.
Yeah, it was.
That was horrible.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Non-call, sorry.
Yeah, we know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anti-Saint.
Looks pretty good to me.
Okay.
Looks pretty clean to me.
I think
Josh Allen continues.
Wasn't
the Bills.
Wasn't that Drew Brees' longest pass of the season there on that pass interference?
Most likely.
It probably was, actually. Yeah, it probably was.
It was like 25 yards.
Yeah, I don't think he can throw it 25 yards this year.
That's true.
I don't get it, man. Not a lot to talk about with the Bears in Washington. The Browns, is that the best rushing attack in the NFL? I'd say so, right?
Man, they look good. The running, at least. But when it comes down, when they get in a close game and you got to put it on Baker's shoulders, though, I still think he's going to do Baker things and screw it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Haskins is it, by the way.
But they got the Cowboys this week, though, don't they? The Browns.
Yeah.
That should be interesting.
That will be interesting. Haskins, when do you start or you're already doing it?
Well, it's only second season, but I think they're at that point. Especially if you end up with like the worst record or something, you got to take a chance. I know, at another quarterback. I have to figure the Jets are done with Darnold. They have to be moving on from him.
See, no, you got to give me one more coach. Give me another coach, and if it doesn't work, yes, Gase, man, Tannehill. No,
well, that's true.
Yeah, I think you give
Tannehill. Robbie Anderson.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched. I have to be honest. I haven't watched a lot of Haskins himself, so I don't know how bad.
I haven't either.
But based on what I'm hearing and stat lines, it's not good. Not good for the old football team down in Washington. Oh man, Titans and Vikings. Derrick Henry finally gets going, and it's a Justin Jefferson show-out game.
Finally, Derrick Henry does something this season.
Hey, Kirk Cousins only threw 2 interceptions this week.
It's progress.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns, but those 2 interceptions were huge.
And who is Khalif Raymond? Anybody know him? He had 3 catches, 118 yards. Like, where did that come from?
That's a good question. Well, with A.J. Brown out, you figure Corey Davis is the number 1 there, so most teams are probably trying to double him up. But I've never heard of that guy, so.
I haven't either.
But, yeah, Justin Jefferson, 175 yards, or 125 yards, right? Or was it 175?
175, I think.
175 yards, yeah.
7 catches, wasn't it?
Of all the rookie wideouts that were drafted, I don't think he was the one. I think you would go a Lamb or a Judy first. Maybe a Ruggs, putting together a big game. Then maybe Jefferson over Rager, probably. But, yeah. Pretty good stuff to see. Old Kirk Cousins will have him in shape in no time. Breaking the record books.
God. Anyways. Next game.
The New York teams are in terrible shape as always. I just had that written down. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about New York.
Yeah, they're garbage.
Get rid of Gase. I think Gase, rumor mill, if Gase loses this week, it's Thursday. That's it.
Oof. Well,
we'll see.
I was hoping my coach would be gone, but that's not going to happen now. So
I'm telling you, Falcons Lions, winner leaves town game. The winner gets the right to fire their coach.
What if they would tie in that game?
That would be total Lions and Falcons.
Speaking of that, Phil.
Yeah, speaking of that,
beautiful segue, sir. Cincinnati and the Eagles. Doug Peterson. I told you. I said this a long time ago. Goes with my Wentz. It's not going to be there for a long take. Doug Peterson also. That seat will warm up a lot quicker than people think. He did win a championship, but Philadelphia is a pretty unforgiving town. You just punted for a tie against the Bengals, dude.
Yeah, what was that about?
For a tie.
Why did he throw 47 times, though? Wentz threw 47 times. It was a close game.
What was the field goal? 65-yarder? Something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got to try.
Punted.
It's crazy.
My beautiful Texans finally get to breathe after this horrible beginning schedule. So what did they do? They did Chiefs, Ravens, and then Steelers. Upcoming, they have the Vikings, right? Yeah, it's the Vikings. So they finally get a little breathing room. That was tough, boys, but we made it through. Okay, looking at the afternoon games. There were 5 games in the afternoon. We didn't hit. I knew about this, but we didn't hit on it last podcast. We should have. It's what we've all been crying for. More instead of doing 9 and 3, they do or have you. They do a or they did 10 and 3. They do an 8 and 5. I felt a little out of sync, man. I felt because usually it's all panic, looking every which way for the 1 o'clock games, trying to keep track of everything.
I had the DirecTV app. Yeah, I had the app up with all the 4 on the TV.
Yeah,
the 4 games.
And then you can chill out in the afternoon.
Which, by the way, DirecTV makes me mad. They have that whole section to the left that says Sunday ticket. I mean, come on, just move that out of the way.
I wish they could. I wish you could customize it yourself. That'd be really
that'd be nice.
Like I want this game here, this game there, that game there. But I usually for the 4 o'clock, you kind of exhale and just relax as it bounces between 3 games. I've been craving this for more games in the afternoons, and I don't think I was ready.
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
It was too much. I wasn't prepared.
I wanted to watch Brady and then the Cowboys-Seahawks game.
Yeah, nobody was going to that game.
I had to watch Brady. The Lions.
Yeah, exactly.
So
the Red Zone was only going to, I believe, the Lions game mainly, and then, of course, the Cowboys and Seahawks. So, that was my big takeaway from the afternoons. I thought I was ready. I was not prepared. Broncos, Bucks, who cares? Chargers, Panthers, who cares? Is it Brett Rippon? Quarterback? He's a mega power now. I did pick him up. Quarterback for the Broncos, going to get the start. Is it Brett? If I got my name wrong.
I think it's right. I don't think it matters. It doesn't matter at this point for the Broncos, though. I mean, they're not very good.
Never know. He slung it in college, apparently.
Whatever.
We'll see.
What about that Cowboys-Seahawks game, man? That was pretty entertaining.
That was. I have that here. Cowboys-Seahawks. It's a great, weird game. Dak with an amazing escape on the last play. I wish he'd known that he did not have to force that throw right there. It's only 3rd down. There's 9 seconds left. He's got time to chuck it out of bounds and try again. I don't know what he saw from his angle there, but
he had. I was looking at the box score in that game, and he had 57 attempts. I mean,
That's way too many.
You're not gonna win a lot of games like that.
Not if you have Ezekiel Elliott on your team. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. I know Brett loves that because he's on his team. You want to see as many passes as you can get, but poor Cowboy fans. We got a lot of them in this league. I feel for you guys. No, I don't. Not really.
I don't feel for nobody right now. Yeah. Anybody whining about their teams right now can kick rocks with me. Because it's going to take forever I'm not going back to it. Okay. All right. Kamara is unstoppable on Sunday night. He's continuing to pad Drew Brees' numbers, of course.
Well, yeah, that's all he does is throw the ball to him.
The dump-offs.
How many catches he had in that game? It was a lot, wasn't it?
It was double digits, wasn't it? It was like 12 or 13.
He had 13 for 139 yards.
And he only had 6 carries.
That one screen pass, the one dump off, he got and took. I actually thought he was going to be tackled by the first guy, because they're NFL players. I figured they could tackle.
Yeah.
Nope. That was impressive. I'll never say a lot of good stuff about the Saints. That was pretty impressive.
Most importantly, the Packers are 3-0. That's what's most important.
The Packers are 3-0. Tough test coming up this week with the red-hot Atlanta Falcons. We should be 2-1. Think about that.
I know. That's the same thing with the Lions. I got mad that they won.
Yeah, the Cowboys are one stupid onside kick away from being 0-3. That is kind of crazy to think about. But it wouldn't matter in the NFC East because it's a terrible division.
That division is the worst.
Yeah, it is the worst. Last thing on the feedback from the games. Remember in our prediction show, old Brett said the Ravens are not made for the playoffs. They'll beat up on regular season teams. They're not made for the playoffs. Is Restradamus going to strike again?
Well, it was only week 3. They got plenty of time to figure it out. But yeah,
if they're that good, though, to be honest, I mean, I don't know.
I thought the defense was a lot better, but especially Mahomes the week before, he didn't look good. But yeah, they just got too many weapons. They're on another level from all the other teams.
Yeah,
underhanded pass, dude.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Double pass. The way Andy Reid or whoever, Eric Bieniemy or whoever is, it's Andy Reid's scheme, right? He designs the way that these tight ends and what have you fullbacks leak out of the blocking. It's incredible. The one play with Kelsey where it's fake here, fake to there, fake to Hill, or vice versa, and then a dump to Kelsey over the middle. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, that game was a letdown, though. It was definitely a letdown.
It was a letdown. It was the score. If you just saw the score at the end of the game, was not as close as what that score looked like.
No.
But Chiefs are going to be tough. Now, I did hear this. You need to be able to rush Mahomes from the edges and get a rush without a blitz. And our boy Cowherd, there's one team that's very good at that right now. And that would be the old Bucks, the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah. Well, the Chargers are pretty good at it. They got a nice little front four.
Now, I do know they do.
I got to sneeze.
Which is why the Chargers D is, like I said.
Sorry, boys.
The Chargers D. The Chargers D is underrated, I believe.
And they play Tampa this week, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you do see, because I do know the NFC South plays the AFC West, so you will see Tampa and Kansas City in the regular season this year. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, new segment that we kind of stumbled into, I think it was last week or the week before, and we're going to do every week. Detroit will have us power rank something in the league. I think we know about this one, but in future weeks we won't know what he's going to ask us. So, Detroit, take it away.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it very interesting throughout the year. I'm not gonna just make it simple, basic stuff. But it's not
come up with a name for it too.
Yeah, I'll come up with a name. I'm assuming we want to do sports related, right? Everything sport, like football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna do like Power 5, the top 5 French fries, something like that.
Oh,
that sounds pretty fun too.
It actually doesn't sound bad.
I like Checkers fries, by the way. Anyways,
those are pretty good.
This week I thought about it, and let's do the power rankings for this year so far after 3 weeks of football, the best 5 teams. Now there's 7 3-0 teams. So, I mean, you can pick any team you want. It could be a 2-1 team if you think they're the best. But the way I did mine is I did the top 5 that happen all to be undefeated. And then I'm going to do, like, the best 2-1 team, too. So anybody want to lead it off, or you want me to start?
I'll go first if you want.
Okay.
All right, I'll just go from 5 up. I think that'd be more fun. Coming in at number 5, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people this year. I think maybe one of you guys had them going pretty far, had them doing pretty well. I can't remember who.
Who do you think it was, Phil?
Oh, by your look, I'm going to say you.
I think I had them.
I don't know about the playoffs. I just had them at 12-4, so I think we had the same round because I had them run into the Chiefs.
I think I had them like over 500 too. I can't remember honestly, but I mean their offense is good, of course. Big Ben's back, so he's making that offense work. It seems like Connor's looking really good again, and of course their defense is really good with T.J. Watt on the line. So I got them at number 5. Number 4, I almost put this team higher, but for some reason I put the Bills at number 4. I think it's just because of who they beat. I mean, I do think they're a really good team, but they've only beat the Jets, Dolphins. They beat a good Rams team this past week, but I mean, those first 2 games were pretty much cakewalks. At number 3, had to go Homer, got the Packers. Their schedule, I feel like it's been okay. Vikings are okay. That second team they played isn't very okay. I don't know if anybody wants to know who that is. And of course they recently beat the Saints, so that was a pretty good win. Number 2, I got the Seahawks. They beat the Falcons week 1. I think the Falcons are better than the record, of course. The Patriots and the Cowboys. That's a pretty good start to the season there. And then number 1, I didn't think they were going to be as good. I mean, I knew they'd be good, but you have to go Chiefs. I mean, they're the defending champs and they haven't lost yet. So
yeah, that's a
number 1.
No-brainer. Brett?
I don't have my 5th team.
You want me to go?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Your segment, you can go last.
All righty.
All right, so my 5th team, I don't want to do it, but I will. Right now, my 5th team, I will go to the Tampa Bay Bucks. Whatever.
Wow.
Whatever. We'll see if he makes it through the season. My 4th team, I have the Seattle Seahawks. Would have them higher, but that defense is garbage besides Jamal Adams. Number 3, I do have the Green Bay Packers. I like the weapons. The defense is much better than Seattle's, in my opinion. Number 2, the Buffalo Bills. Very solid defense. That will be better than what it's shown. And Josh Allen, until he proves me wrong right now, if you didn't have Russ doing what he's doing, he'd be way up there with the MVP talk. And then number 1, of course, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a
All right.
number 1.
Now, for mine, and what else I think I'm going to do is we'll maybe put these top 5 up on Twitter, maybe do a little poll, see if people want to vote on it, see who had the best Power 5 rankings. But anyways, for my number 5 team, I'm actually going with the Seattle Seahawks. I love the offense. Russell Wilson's playing MVP caliber this year. That team is just pretty unstoppable on offense, but that defense is atrocious. So that's why I got them so low. 4, I had the KDFL Buffalo Bills.
That's right.
I'm loving Josh Allen and what they're doing. The defense is starting to play pretty good. Number 3, I went back and forth with 3 and 2 here. I went with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think they've really beat any really great teams or good teams, but the defense is going to keep them in games all year long. And if they keep Big Ben healthy, they're going to be a team to reckon with in the NFC. Number 2, I got Phil's Green Bay Packers. They're just playing really good football. The defense looks a little bit better this year. That was their downfall a lot last year. They didn't even have Devontae Adams this past week, and they just keep on scoring at will. And, of course, at number 1, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think anybody's beating them. They might lose a game or 2 at most, but I think they're going to take it all the way again.
I left the Steelers off mine. They're breaking them up. I'm going to do this every week. You do this. Once you finish up, or somebody else says something like, "Oops, I think I left Lamar Jackson off my, or Patrick Mahomes and Lamar off my quarterbacks." I think last week.
Yeah,
All right, last thing, and then we'll get into the KDFL. 61 touchdowns, 32 interceptions, win-loss record of 26-18. Who do we think it is?
Can you say it again?
Name this quarterback. Name this quarterback. Sorry for the sloppiness. 61 touchdowns, 32 interceptions, 26-18. So that's not bad numbers, right?
44 games. That's about 4 years or so, 3 or 4 years.
I mean, it doesn't mean it's when these stats started.
I know, but I mean, I'm just trying to see how many games he's played.
Yeah. 61 touchdowns, 32 picks, 26-18 win-loss.
Nick Foles?
Nope.
He probably hasn't started that many games.
Ryan Tannehill?
That would be Mitchell Trubisky.
Wow.
His numbers were not that bad, the poor guy.
Wow.
But he did look awful.
Yeah, but I don't know. You can see the eye test with him.
You can.
One of those seasons, the Bears' defense was outstanding.
You can. I just saw that stat line of his career because it talked about how the Trubisky era is over, and I was like, that's going to be a lot better than most people think that he had. All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. Now, before we jump into the rundown, KDFL, we have one correction to make that I don't want to do. But our commish, Jeremy Clark, stat correction monster, is ruthless and takes down the Roxanne Renegades, Jeremy Clark, on Friday morning.
Friday morning.
After week 3 had already started, stat corrections go get them. I don't know if the commission had a hand in this. Investigation's underway.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I've never seen it go that long. That's crazy.
Yeah, especially when Thursday they had the stat corrections.
Yeah, that's
players,
the thing. That's why we kind of already knew, right? Yeah, we kind of already had a thought because we were like, because me and Phil's game was really close, so there was really 2 scores I was looking at, and I was like, neither one of these scores have moved at all. And in this type of league with this many defensive players, the scores will move some every Sunday, a little bit. So sad to say, the Renegades dropped to 0-3. The Commission's Gunslingers stay undefeated at 3-0. So, with that, let us get into the KDFL rundown for week 3. Week 3? Yes, week 3. Oh, I threw it 0-2 and 2-0. I messed it up, but spoilers. All right, week 3. We start in Cross Vegas, where the Charleston Methadones take on the Cross Vegas Gamblers. Kamara leads all scorers with 45. Cook tries to fight back for the Gamblers with 26. Wilson and Lockett explode for 76 points. 79 points as the Charleston Methadones win 283-220. To Marmet we go next, where they host the Hoka Pharmacist. It's a Rex Burkhead sighting in Marmet as he scores 35. Allen Robinson pours in 28 for the Pharmacist. The Marmet Chargers, however, strike again as Eckler and Allen score 62. And the Marmet Midnight Riders win 250-221, going to 2-1 on the season. Is this the latest the Marmet Midnight Riders have had a winning record in a long time in a KDFL season?
Oh, that's harsh.
It's not harsh. It's facts. I'm asking questions.
I thought he got off to a hot start 2 years ago. Maybe
it's possible. I pulled that out of my So we'll see. Now,
fake news.
To Elkview we go next, where the Dogtown Dobermans take on the Elkview River Rats. Connor comes back into the fold with 25 for the Dobermans. Metcalf, one dumb play away from breaking 25 as he fumbles at the goal line. Detroit's favorite, Aaron Rodgers, leads his team with 28, and the River Rats win 233-215. As you heard earlier, the River Rats move to 3-0. Now, next up, we have the Roxana Renegades at the Montrose Mega Powers. Golf continues to heat up, scoring 28. Dak takes advantage of a shootout in Seattle for 28 points for himself. Alden Smith continues the comeback story, pouring in 20 for Montrose. And the Mega Powers finally get on the win column, 251-217. Next up, we have the Knightsdale Dragons taking on the Kanawha County Kings. Shaq Thompson pours in 27 for the Knights defense. Michael Gallup does what he can for the Kings and scores 26. Derrick Henry finally joins the 2020 NFL season, scoring 27. The Dragons win 274-201, and the Dragons move on to 3-0. Finally, it is our game of the week, and the Glasgow Gunslingers take on the Hurricane Wampus Cats. Fitzmagic strikes early for Hurricane as he scores 27. Mahomes' first huge breakout game of the year comes in as he scores 44, and James Robinson solidifies himself as the number one in Jacksonville, scoring 31 points. The Gunslingers win 287-195, an embarrassing game of the week debut for the Wampus Cats, as with that score, they are eliminated from the KDFL Eliminator.
Your team is not good. I mean, let's be honest here. They're not good.
That is it for your Week 3 rundown.
Nice. And I just went back. Mike did start off like 5-1 2 years ago. So.
Well, you know, we can't always be right, can we?
So don't be coming out here throwing out fake facts.
Wait, what league are you looking at? Because I see him 1-3 2 years
2018?
Yeah.
Last year, he started off slow and came on hot at the end. I did know that. That's why I kind of made
2018, he was 8-5 overall.
Where would he start out?
How are we looking? I'm looking at. Oh wait, I was on 18, but now it's showing 17. Never mind. He started 1-3 that year and finished 3-10.
Yeah, he started out 5-1 in 2018. So, and he finished 8-5. So you owe him an apology, even though I'm going to take a shot at him later in this.
I owe him an apology? I don't think so.
No, Brett does.
Oh, okay.
Known for my apologies.
Yeah.
I can't apologize to Mike. I mean, it's just not possible, right?
Well, you did just randomly throw in that he went 3-10 unprovoked. Had no bearing in the...
It was just part of the stats I was talking about. So.
All right. What's the thoughts on Week 3?
Well, honestly, there wasn't a lot of close games this week.
It did feel like the scoring overall came back on the earth.
Yeah, it did. I think my game was the closest, 19 points, but I ended up losing I had 4 or 5 players go out during the games this week. No, John Brown didn't score me any points. He got hurt. Chris Carson got hurt, but he got hurt later on. Peppers got hurt. Kursky, or however you pronounce his name, the linebacker for the Packers, got hurt. So he got hurt early. So that happens, but
I will say this. Shout out to some of the high scores this week. Glasgow leads with 287. The Knightsdale Dragons with 274. Marmet, 250. Montrose had 250, and that's about all I see. Yeah. In the high score department.
Yeah, that's all I see.
Very impressive. Very impressive for those I mentioned and only those I mentioned.
Yeah.
Very good job with the scores this week.
Yeah.
All right,
guys, congratulations, guys.
Yeah,
only
congratulations
you guys.
to you and specifically you, teams I named for those high scores. All right. Are we ready to move on? KDFL Week 4?
Let's go.
Yeah, why not?
All right. KDFL Week 4. First game up. Don't know why I clapped in the mic, but that's what I did. The Cross Vegas Gamblers at 1-2 travel to Dogtown to take on the 0-3 Dobermans. Detroit, take it away.
Well, in this matchup, we kind of talked about Wentz earlier. I think he is what he is. He's not playing well. That team's not really playing well. I definitely don't like them this week against the Niners. The Niners are top 3 defense overall right now. Cook versus the Texans, I do like that matchup. He should score some points. That's the right game, right? Yeah. Sorry, my notes are really
You're good.
sloppy. Anyways, if this Steelers and Titans game goes down, there's a question, is that going to happen Monday or Tuesday? I'm praying it does because I got a lot of people in my lineups for them. But anyways, the Dogtown Dobermans, they had Big Ben and Connor against the Titans defense. I do like that. Titans have one of the worst top 5 defenses in the league. ODB against the Cowboys, that pass defense is terrible. So I do like I don't like Sanders against the Niners either. So this one's pretty tough for me. I've been going back and forth. I almost want to pull a Brett here and be like, well, if these guys play, I'll go with this. But I'm actually going to go, once again, I'm going to go with the Dogtown Dobermans.
Oh, boy. Phil.
Real quick.
We have the Dogtown Dobermans getting their first win.
Well, before that, so if they do play a game on Tuesday, is that going to count for Week 4? Do we know that?
For Week 4.
It will? Okay. I figured it would. I just want to make sure. For the Gamblers, Wentz and Jones, that seemed like a pretty good quarterback duo, at least before this season. But now it's not looking good. He's got some problems at quarterback. As we've been saying, Wentz has not looked good. Neither has Daniel Jones. As Detroit was saying, he just basically copied my notes, I think. The Dobermans could be in trouble if Pittsburgh doesn't play because he's got a lot of guys on his team. At this point, it's really just Josh Allen for the Dobermans. Although Roethlisberger and Connor both look good, so does Miles Sanders. But I just don't think he's going to have enough power. Even with the QB troubles of the Gamblers, I think the Gamblers are going to get the win here against the Dobermans.
Okay. So Dogtown does have a lot of Pittsburgh exposure, as you guys have kind of alluded to. I do think this game's going to be played, so I'm not overly worried about that. If you look at the matchups for the Gamblers, they're not that good at all. Fournette gets the Chargers. That's terrible. Cook gets Houston, which is a good matchup for him. Eagles' rush defense is very good against McKinnon. DJ Moore will likely have Peterson right on him, so that's not really going that far. And Cleveland has decent cornerbacks, too, to guard Lamb. So outside of the Houston matchup with the Vikings, Wentz and Jones, we've talked about them. Because of all those tough matchups and the fact that I think the Steelers and Titans play, I am also going with the Dogtown Dobermans to get their first victory. Nice. I thought I'd be alone again. I was not.
Yeah.
Detroit, right? Make sure we go over what our records were after we finish these before I get to say it again. All right, next up, the now 1-2 Montrose Mega Powers travel to Hurricane to take on the 1-2 Hurricane Wampus Cats. Detroit. What do you see in this one?
What a name.
Wampus Cats.
I actually love your running back Devin Singletary this week against the Raiders. The Raiders are giving up 172 yards a game, so that should be a very favorable matchup for them. Watson is going to score points. That's what he does. Prescott in Cleveland, I think Dallas is going to score points, so I like that matchup. As for the Wampus Cats, I would think Kyler Murray's going to bounce back. He can't have another game of 3 interceptions, can he? They're playing Carolina, so I like that. He definitely needs Devontae Adams to play this week to have a chance. I don't like Ryan Fitzpatrick, even though they're playing Seattle. I don't know. I'm just waiting for him to just have a bad game. He'll have a really good one, a really bad one. So with that said, I'm going with the host of the show and the Montrose Mega Powers.
Take it away, Phil.
Well, looking at the Wampus Cats, they've got some really tough matchups this week. Meanwhile, your Mega Powers have some really good matchups this week. You've got Singletary against the Raiders, who are last in fantasy running back points allowed. David Johnson against the Vikings. That should be another good one for him. Todd Gurley and half his leg against the Packers, who can't stop the run apparently in fantasy.
He's playing fine.
Go ahead.
It doesn't matter. He's not going to last long. Ridley, same with Gurley going against the Packers, who are a little better stopping the pass, but not much. And Alan Lazard, who's looking great. He's going against the Falcons, of course, who can't stop the pass either for some reason. And then a couple other good matchups. Prescott should have another good game against the Browns. I think it's going to be closer than expected, but I do think the Mega Powers are going to beat the Wampus Cats this week.
Nice. Now, Brett, before you start.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, thank you both for selecting my team.
Don't be taking my line.
Is that what you wanted me to do before I start?
No.
Or something else?
What was our bet with Gurley? I can't remember. Like, he was going to be top.
15 or better.
Okay, that's what I thought. I went and looked today.
It's early.
He is number 15 right now for fantasy running backs.
No, he's not.
He is in our league.
No, he's not. He's like 28.
What are you talking about?
You sure?
Gurley's not 15.
I'm taking a look right now.
He's only had one touchdown, dude.
It
Are
don't
you
matter.
sure you're not? It's still in 2018?
I'm in 2020. Hold on.
Can you count? Is this a problem?
Well, that could be a problem.
I'm at position 28.
Yeah, I am wrong.
He's only gotten the end zone one time, and that was this week. So we'll see.
I apologize. I'm wrong.
Hey, he's came back. He's came down each week. So we'll see. It's all about health, I think. I don't know.
Maybe I meant to say he's like number 35 running back. Anyways, so I'm winning that bet. All right.
Yeah, you're ahead right now. Substantially. With me, does Ridley continue to dominate? We'll see. Marvin Jones, can we get moving with this guy? Galladay's back, so I was thinking that would move Marvin Jones way up because he's not one of those. Because you have two different types of receivers, right? You have the ones that do better when their guy's gone, like a Lazard, for example, or you have the ones that need the one taking attention somewhat. Not necessarily their skill, but more about the scheme that they're in. So Marvin Jones, let's get moving. And when I'm looking at the Wampus Cats, outside of their wide receivers of Adams and Hopkins, there's not a ton of depth here. So we'll see with them. But I do have the Mega Powers getting the victory, moving to 2-2, getting right on the season, boys. Now, next up, the Poker Pharmacist at 1-2 take on the 2-1 Charleston Methadones. Mr. Hayes, go ahead.
All right. Well, this is a interesting matchup because it involves that team, the Charleston Methadones, who like to let you know when they do well, and they like to tell you often. So, anyways, he's got Russell Wilson, and he's got Lockett, so that matchup's – he's got that points coming in every week. Wilson's on fire. Jacobs is going against the Bills, who has a top 10 rush defense. Kamara is going against the Lions, who are like 28th overall. So I'm liking his matchups. For the Pharmacist, Cam is going against Kansas City. I think this is going to be an interesting match to see how New England handles Kansas City. But I still expect the Chiefs to score a lot, so Cam's going to be having to throw the ball a lot is my prediction. Mike Evans should be pretty good because Godwin's out. So he had that big, awesome stat line last week, 2 catches, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns. So that should be interesting. But with that said, I hate doing it, but I'm going to go with the Charleston Methadones. Gosh, I don't like doing that.
Phil, you're muted.
Yeah.
How did I get muted?
Hey, I thought you did it on purpose. I thought someone was barking or something in the background. There you go.
Oh, I did, but I actually forgot I kept it muted. Oops. I'm just going to talk like this.
There you go.
People might hear me better that way. I don't know. So, the Pharmacist, he's had a really tough start to this season. He's had the most points scored against him at 758 points. Another tough matchup this week against the Methadones, who I think are top 5 in points, maybe. I think it's something like that, top 5.
Somewhere in that.
Yeah, they're somewhere. I'm not sure where they're at.
But That's pretty much all I got on this. And the pharmacists do have 3 defensive starters from the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, as Brett would say, if they don't play, it doesn't matter. The Methodons are going to win regardless.
That's pretty easy. Is Myles Gaskin for real? We'll find out. Allen Robinson does get a big upgrade with Foles instead of Trubisky, based on what the little bit I saw. Miami's defense stinks. Wilson and Lockett are going to continue to dominate. I have the Methodons getting a pretty easy win this week. Next up, the 1-2 Kanawha County Kings at the 3-0 Glasgow Gunslingers. Take it away, Detroit.
Well, I talked about this last week. Tim's team is they're going to struggle to score points all year long. And with having McCaffrey out doesn't help. Luckily for him, he's got Breeze going against the Lions defense, Gordon against the Jets defense. What has happened to T.Y. Hilton now? He just looks average. He's got Cousins going against the Texans D. You know how we all feel about Cousins. And then the commish, I'm anxious to see Mahomes against that Pats defense. That should be interesting. Zeke going against the Browns, who have the 5th best rush defense and 9th overall, which I didn't know. He'll have Kittle back, but probably not Jimmy G. Doesn't matter. He'll win big by 40 points.
Take it away, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to insult Tim or anything, but I think this may be the most mismatched game that I can remember in the league's history, at least for the last few years.
Last week you had the Renegades and the Gunslingers.
Well, but I mean, what I think the outcome's going to be, I think this is going to be worse. I just think, of course, the commish has such a great team. It's probably one of the best teams he's ever had. The Kings are struggling, maybe one of the worst teams they've ever had. I mean, they've had some really good teams. He was just in the championship last year. But now he's the lowest scoring team going against the second highest scoring team, and there's a 213-point difference between the points that they've scored this season, which when you think about it, that's basically a game ahead. I mean, it's gonna be hard to pick the Kings in this one. I'm gonna go Gunslingers.
Yeah, the Kings are wounded ducks right now. McCaffrey being out, everything else that's going wrong with them. Like you said, it's hard for them to put up points. Parker gets Seattle. That's going to be big. They can't stop any wide receivers like we talked about earlier. I will like to see if Breeze continues to improve a little bit. So maybe we didn't put him in the ground too early. We'll see. But, yeah, Gunslingers in a route. All right, second to last game. The Roxland Renegades at 0-3 take on the Nightdale Dragons at 3-0. Go ahead, Mr. Detroit.
Well, I talk about Eric's team all the time about having too many Lions. It's okay to have a few. I think Stafford will be playing from behind, so I think he'll put up some points. I like Kenyon Drake against Carolina. But when you got Amendola, Galladay, and Hockenson going also in your starting lineup, there's only one ball, so you're not going to get too many points between the 3 of them. So I don't like that. For Phil and his team, Aaron Jones going against the Falcons defense. What can I say about that?
We do okay against the run so far.
All right, well, okay.
Because we've been ahead in every game, so they've been passing.
Well, you have the
second worst. Very effectively.
You have the second worst defense in the league, so I'm just going to let you know that. Matt Ryan should probably score points because he's going to be from behind. It's just I don't think it's going to be close. I think this one might even be a bigger blowout than the last game, so I'm going Phil by 50.
50.
Wow. Well,
Phil, take it away.
I mean, I think the Lions could put up some points, and I think this game is making me nervous the closer we get to it. As we've talked several times, Pittsburgh and the Titans may not play. I mean, they're probably going to play, but just in case, that's going to hurt me if Henry doesn't play. Even if he does, Pittsburgh's first against the run in fantasy. Rivers is probably going to struggle like he has all season. He gets the Bears this week or good against the pass in fantasy. Godwin is more than likely going to be out again, which is going to be a big loss. And he's also got Drake going against the Panthers, who are 31st against the run in fantasy. And I think I'm due for a low score, honestly. So I'm going with the Renegades in this one. And that's not a reverse jinx or anything. I think
reverse jinx. Yes, it is.
It is not. I'm telling you.
Yes, it is.
I
like
Where's the shame? Where's the shame bell?
It is not.
I think Phil by 50. He picks the other team.
Hey, the reverse
I'm
jinx.
telling you.
Oh, Mario Davis, Brett's gonna beat me for sure. That's what I heard last week, 2 weeks ago. Whatever. Anyway, will Henry play for sure? I believe he will. Lions. That's not the best matchup against New Orleans. That's not a pushover defense. Ryan should be behind, so it will be a lot of points. I didn't give this much analysis because it's a very easy pick. The Nightdale Dragons beat the Renegades.
Guys, I'm telling you, it's going to be closer than you think.
All right, we'll see.
I always have a week where I flop. Like, seriously.
Yeah. All right. The game of the week. The councilman, LeVar balled this into existence to make it the game of the week. It also is our only game, sadly, even though we're only in week 4, with 2 teams with winning records going into it. The 2-1 Marmette Midnight Riders travel to Elkview to take on the 3-0 Elkview Riverettes. Detroit, take it away.
Well, I have to say, I think Mike and the Marmette Midnight Riders have been probably the surprise team of the year so far. 2-1. I can't remember where I had them. I'm sure it wasn't in the top 8, so I have to go back and figure that out. But I like his matchup, but with Baker against the Cowboys, then again, who knows? Baker could turn around and throw 3 interceptions. He had Burkhead scored a bunch for him this past week, but you know the Patriots, they can run in and out 4 or 5 different running backs. Eckler should score a ton. Tyreek Hill, I don't know. I went back and looked at a couple of his games, so his last 2 games against the Patriots. Last year he did have 8 catches, but he only had 62 yards. In the AFC Championship, he only had 3 catches for 42 yards. I don't know if that means anything. I just went and
Take
looked
away
at
the
the
deep
stats.
ball, I believe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So what I do like about Mike's team, he has the number 1 linebacker and the number 9 linebacker for fantasy points. So that's always good. My team, who knows what's going on with the Steelers and Titans. We've covered that a bunch. I don't think Lamar's going to throw for under 100 yards again this week. I think he'll come back strong. I love Chubb against the Cowboys. Henderson, my boy's taken over for the Rams. Last 2 weeks, he scored 19 and 20 fantasy points. So that's been great. And I like Metcalf against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a close game, but I can't do it. I'm going to have to pick myself, even though the councilman has done everything in his powers down there in Marmette to get this game postponed between my Steelers and Titans because I have like 4 starters on that team. So,
Wow.
Bill.
You couldn't tell he was talking about his team, could you? I mean, I think I stopped listening about halfway through. Did you say? I can't remember. Did you say if Chris Carson's going to play or not? I don't know if you.
No, I did not. I didn't even touch that.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to.
No, he's not
Okay.
going to. I don't even have him in my lineup.
Yeah, I didn't think you did.
No.
That's one. Well, I mean, some players on both sides have some really good matchups. Some have some really tough matchups. The Riders have Baker against the Cowboys. It's a good matchup, but who knows what you're going to get from Baker Mayfield. Andre Eckler. No, I'm just kidding. Austin Eckler. He gets the – I can't tell what I wrote. Is that the Bucks? That's the Bucks.
Bucks.
I scribbled it. Okay. They're pretty bad against the run so far. And then, as I think Detroit mentioned, Hill against the Patriots, that should be a pretty good matchup. On the other side, Detroit has Lamar versus the Redskins. As long as – I think Chase Young's actually out, isn't he? I didn't think about that.
Yeah, he is.
So that'll be an even better matchup for him. And you mentioned Henderson. He's looking really good so far with the Rams. He's got a great matchup against the Cowboys. And Aaron Rodgers, he's going to destroy the Falcons. Sorry, Brett. I think it's actually going to be close, but I think overall defense, I'm going to have to give it to the River Rats. I think they're going to get the win this week.
Thanks, Phil.
You're welcome, Detroit.
There's a lot on the line, obviously, with the Steelers game. Eckler and Allen do have a tough matchup with Tampa Bay. Baker should be able to do a lot of big things against Dallas. Rodgers gets Atlanta. Should be points. Lamar, of course, with Washington as well. I wanted to pick the Midnight Runners so bad, but these stupid quarterback matchups. These stupid quarterback matchups you have are easy. So for that reason, the matchup heaven for the Elkview QBs, I am going to go with the Elkview River Rats to move on to 4-0.
All
That's
right.
our Week 4 predictions. Detroit, what's our record going into this Week 4 with our picks?
Well, going into our last week, Phil went 5-1. Me and you, Brett, went 4-2. On the season, Phil was in first place with 15-3 record, while me and you are at 14-4. So, good job, Phil. We'll see how it plays out the rest of the year. As for our locks.
Yep, which you're going to segue right into, by the way.
Yes, that's what I was doing.
Yep.
You don't have to host all the time.
Action.
Okay? Anyways, last week.
And sign off, by the way.
Last week, I was the only one to win the lock of the week. I had the Lions and the under, and they went under. Brett, you took your Falcons, which is a no-no. Shouldn't have done it. Got the loss. Phil, you had -6 with Arizona, and the Lions had to screw that up for you. Trust me, I know how that feels. So overall, I'm 2-1, and you guys are 1-2. And for my lock of the week, I am taking the over in the Tampa and Chargers game, and I forgot to write it down. Hold up.
The over for that game is 43.
Okay, 43 points. I knew it was pretty low. All right. Philip?
You don't have anything else to sign off with?
I was going to wait till a little bit later, but go ahead.
This is it. This is the end of the show.
Yeah, but maybe I wanted to add something in when you started rambling.
Well, go ahead. Phil.
Okay. Anyways, Brett sucks.
Can I
Phil,
speak now?
tell
Host,
the people how they can reach us and do your log of the week.
Well, real quick, it's probably safe to say they don't want to listen to us on the bets if they're actually making bets with these locks of the week.
Historic loss, historic comeback, no.
It doesn't matter. We're still not doing really well. I mean,
And they
Detroit's
win
still not
money
doing
if they
okay.
took my bets so far.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. All right. I forget. What am I doing? Lock of the week first, or how they reach us? I don't even remember how to do this. Okay.
Do how they reach us, and then
Okay. You're right.
do throw your lock in, and then how they reach us.
Okay. I'm just leaving all this in. I'm not taking it out. Anyways, I got the Seahawks plus 6.5 at Miami. I mean, they're putting up points.
What do you mean plus 6.5? -6, right?
Sorry, -6.5. Yep.
Okay.
Wrote that down wrong. Either way, they're putting up points. Miami's not very good, even though it is a Miami. I mean, come on. They should win easily. As always, they can follow the show on Twitter at KDFL Podcast. They can follow you, Brett, at BrettStill2. They can follow Detroit at Detroit8374, and they can follow me at Phil Ruxy, and they can see all the stupid crap that I retweet on political stuff, as Detroit would say. They can leave a message on Anchor, or they can call 901-609-KDFL to leave a message. Also, I don't think I've ever mentioned this before. They can also text that number and leave a message. They don't have to call in. It has a text line open as well. Just be sure if you do that, put your name in the text. That way we can know who to call out.
And remember, it's a family show, two people.
Yeah, I mean, I won't say the words out loud if they're really bad. But I just want to, if we call the text out and tell the person out, we want to know who it is. You know, we want to say their name on air.
All right.
All right. So now we're done dealing with you two clowns. Wanted to get the clown reference in there. Crap. Nobody took. I had like 3 or 4 ready to go, and nobody took any of mine. So now I don't know which one to pick. But I'm going with, for my luck of the week, the Bills -3 against the Las Vegas Raiders, just because the Raiders have a struggle stopping the run, and that is what the Bills do very well. So Bills -3.
You're gonna have someone. You're gonna have some angry texts later after they watch this.
Yes, that's true. So for Jonathan Detroit Haynes, for Mr. Phil Ruxy, I'm Brett Steele. Thank you for listening to the KDFL Fantasy Football Podcast, and we will see you next week.